Hi, it's Chris from SportsChatPlace.com here with Ron Romanelli, taking a look at some college football Week 6 picks and predictions. We have tons of content over at Sports Chat Place, so make sure you guys go over and check it out. And we do more free picks than anyone, so subscribe to our channel and hit the thumbs up. All right, we're going to take a look at some of the marquee matchups, some of our favorite games, I think, for this weekend in college football action. And, well, let's take a step back and let's take a look at some Big 12 action. Coming to us from the Cotton Bowl, one of the bigger rivalries. We've got Oklahoma taking on Texas. Oklahoma laying 3.5 on the road.
Yeah, I mean, we expected this Oklahoma offense to be really potent, an offense that scores a ton of points under Spencer Rattler, but it just hasn't been the case this season. I mean, you look at the Sooners' offensive numbers, they don't really tell the full story when you look at how Oklahoma put up 76 points against an FCS team in Western Carolina. I mean, let's look at the games against Power 5 teams in the FBS. Oklahoma's only scoring 25 points per game in those games. It's just not good enough against a Texas team that has found a rhythm since its loss to Arkansas. Texas is just playing really good football as of late. I think, that loss to Arkansas is looking a lot better since it happened. Even though Arkansas went down to Georgia last week, this is still a solid Arkansas team. So, I think Texas getting that 3.5 points, I think there's some value there. I think this is a field goal game either way. And I think Texas is a very live dog, so I'll take the points with the Longhorns here in this home game or road game or whatever you want to call it in the Cotton Bowl. There's going to be a good amount of Texas fans in this one, so I'll take Texas here.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I'm on Texas as well, mainly because, like you said, you look at the quality of competition for Oklahoma this year. Yes, they're 5-0, 4-0 against teams with a pulse in the FBS, but in those 4 games, they haven't won a game by more than a touchdown. That includes that Tulane game, Nebraska, Kansas State, and the other one's slipping my mind. I can't remember. But either way, it doesn't. What is important is, like you said, all their games have been battles, and for a team that's in the top 10, number 6 of the way Oklahoma is, they haven't been destroying teams. They've simply held on to their preseason rank by reputation and just by winning and simply not taking a loss. Texas, on the other hand, I'm not a Hudson Card fan as much as the next person. But there's no denying that Texas is a live dog here, like you said. Definitely a chance of pulling the outright upset, but I'm with you taking the 3.5 points at the Cotton Bowl. So for our next pick, our next game, we're going to take a look at an SEC matchup, one of the marquee SEC matchups on the board, pitting a pair of ranked teams against each other. You got number 2 Georgia going on the road, taking on Auburn. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
Yeah, that's another great game to watch. Georgia has just been fantastic. They were my pick to win it before the season. Now you look at their odds are right there with Alabama's, tied up at who's going to win the national championship. And, this may be a square play, maybe a public play, but I'm going to have to go with Georgia yet again. They don't give up an inch on the ground. And, I mean, the secondary has also been really solid, holding teams to under 100 yards passing in 3 games this season, including last week against Arkansas. Georgia's offense isn't going to blow anybody away, but they can run the football real well, and I think the passing game has its situational spots. I don't see Auburn scoring much here offensively, and I think Georgia's just going to earn another comfortable victory. Even on the road, a hostile environment, I'll lay the points with Georgia.
Yeah, for me, this is all about the typical, narrative that you see when you have Georgia playing Auburn, and that's smash mouth football, and I'm looking at the under 46.5 in this one. I think this is just going to be a game where you're going to see a ton of running the ball. Auburn tends to play their best when Bo Nix is running for his life as it is. And, reality is this is just going to be a game, I think, where defense is the MO for both sides. And I was talking to Tony T about this earlier in the week. I think this could be a game where, the first to 20 wins this game. So you look at what Georgia's defense has done. I think it's 4.6 points per game they've allowed through the first 5 games of the season. That's just outstanding. That includes Clemson in that group of games as well as Arkansas, a pair of tough opponents. But, I can't see this one getting up over 40. So I'm looking at the under 46.5 here. But right now, our next one, we go to ACC country. Got the North Carolina Tar Heels playing host to the FSU Seminoles, man. 17.5 for North Carolina. What do you think is going to happen here?
Yeah, this Florida State team, they haven't impressed one bit at all this season, even in their win last week against Syracuse. Florida State has dominated Syracuse in recent years at home, and it just barely got through with the win, didn't cover against the spread. FSU's offense is just really one-dimensional at this point. I think it lacks a lot of firepower, the firepower that you need, not only in the ACC, but taking on this North Carolina team. We know North Carolina is going to put up points. And I know their offensive line has really struggled, but Sam Howell, he was able to make plays last week when the offensive line crashed against Duke. And he also has a very talented receiver in Josh Downs who can do it himself in that passing game. So I think Downs and Howell are going to be just too much for Florida State to handle. And I think North Carolina wins this game going away at home here. I'll lay the points with the Tar Heels.
Yeah, for me, this was a game that was kind of hard to get a confident read on, just because I feel that the number is almost right. I think this is definitely a comfortable win for North Carolina. I still can't get that performance against Georgia Tech out of my head. You look at Florida State. This is a team that hung around with Notre Dame, and they pulled off the win against Syracuse last week. I understand Syracuse. You want to give them that sarcastic slow clap for saying congratulations, you finally beat someone. But I just think that maybe Seminoles are getting some confidence that maybe they can hang here. By no means am I saying the Seminoles win this game outright, but I think 17.5. If it wasn't for that hook, this would probably be a stay away spot for me, because I keep getting around 38-21, so something around that ballpark in this game. So the hook, if it stays at 17.5, Florida State is the lean for me here, but again, probably a game that I'm not rushing to the window to get to bet personally. But let's take a look here at our last game. Going to the Big Ten, probably the headline game, at least to the afternoon schedule. Pair of top 5 teams going at it. You got Penn State visiting Iowa. Iowa laying a 1.5 at home here. Ron, what do you think is going to go down in this one?
And it should be another great game to watch. Plenty of great games this week in college football, but you look at this one, I think Iowa's weakness is its offense. I mean, the offense only earned 320 yards per game, and it really relies on the field positioning and forcing turnovers. So the defense is really its best offense this season. But I don't think they're going to be able to do that against Penn State. I don't think they're going to be able to play the field position game. This is a Penn State team. It's shown that it can move the ball. Penn State earns 421 yards per game and putting up 30 points per game as well. Penn State, they're very strong on the defensive side, just as Iowa is. And I think giving Penn State any points in this one at all is very valuable in my eyes. You look at the rankings, Iowa's ranked 3rd and Penn State ranked number 4. But even at home, Iowa is less than that 3-point favorite, which tells me this is at a neutral site. Penn State's going to be your favorite. And I think that just tells me the Penn State is a better team, and I'm going to take the better team getting the points in this spot. So I'll take the Nittany Lions, and I'll take the points.
Yeah, this is a low total at 40.5, and even with that being said, I'm still going to be on the under here again. This is your prototypical black and blue game. Why? Because Iowa's probably going to wear black, and Nittany Lions, Penn State probably going to wear blue. But this is just going to be smash mouth football. I see this being first. I think it's like a 17-14 game, or whichever way you slice it. Hopefully for our video's sake, it goes the way of Penn State here. But I think this is a game where 40 just is still too many for even for being a low total. This is going to be a game to watch. If you like defense, get your popcorn and settle in for this one, because this is going to be hard-hitting football all the way. Now, Ron, I know I didn't really go over this with you. Maybe this is something new that what we're doing now that I'm sort of taking over the sports chat videos with you. But of the 4 games that you gave out on the video here, do you have one that you like the best as maybe your top free play here?
I'd say Penn State. I really think that they're just the better team in this matchup, and I know it's at Iowa, which is a tough environment to play. I mean, the Iowa fans, they're very, very proud, and they're not really in this spot too often. But I think Penn State, you look at what they did last year, such a disappointing year. Coming in this year, I think they're just playing fantastic football. So I think Penn State has enough to get the outright win. So giving them any points is just really valuable in my eyes.
I'll give out one as well. Yeah, I like the route that we're both on with Texas to kick off the afternoon. I just think I haven't liked what I've seen from Spencer Rattler, and it almost seems like the logical spot where if Oklahoma's going to drop a game, it's probably this one, high profile, high tension rivalry in the Big 12. 3.5. I don't even think we need them, but I'll take the points to be safe with Texas in that one. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. And always remember, you can find our best bets, Ron's and mine, over at Sports Chat Place. Tons of quality cappers over there. You can also check out our morning show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by the drive-through Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good luck, and let's make it a winning weekend.